Hail and well met. Welcome to episode 29 of the Westgate Irregulars campaign.
Woo-hoo.
I am Eric Scott to be the DM of this game, and these are the Dungeon Scrawlers. Take it away, Aaron.
Hi, I'm Erin M. Evans. I'm the author of the Brimstone Angels saga. I'm going to take this moment to talk about our sponsor. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons & Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure, including Frida and Havilar from the Brimstone Angels saga. The game is available for PC and Mac, on Steam and web, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, and all Android devices.
Nice.
This week they are doing a Garon's Day. I have to check that pronunciation because I've written it a bunch, but I have not actually said it out loud, which includes a new character, Omen. I didn't even look up how to say Omen's name. I'm so sorry, from Acquisitions Incorporated. So check that out. Check out the code down here. You can get a cool gold chest from Idle Champions. And let us know if you get anything shiny.
I'm Rhiannon Held. Under Rhiannon Held, I write urban fantasy, and then under RZ Held, I write space opera, a series of novellas. Check out the first one, Clean Install. And also you can check out all of our books with the widget on our Twitch page, the Amazon Blacksmith. So look at all our books.
Hey, I'm Yang Wang. I'm a writer and a filmmaker.
Hi, I'm Emily Tang. I am a writer and a game designer at Wizards of the Coast. Disclaimer, all thoughts and opinions expressed in this stream are my own and do not represent Wizards of the Coast.
Hi, I'm Stephen Merlino, writer and teacher.
Hi, I'm Randy. I am a Pokemon mortician. So if your Pokemon's recently died, I can give it a dig.
Pokemons never die.
That's the point.
Well, that's what we tell
You're running
them,
a scam. Oh my god.
Randy,
You should
used
just write fiction
formaldehyde.
instead.
It was
Sorry, I didn't mean to
effective.
roast anybody. I didn't mean to tell you that.
Your Pikachu's not dead. We just sent him to a farm in Australia.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
The farm
Pikachu vacation.
lie.
And this band of misfit rapscallions composes the Westgate Irregulars. And our game takes place in Westgate, which you have recently returned to after a long foray among other crazy places. Wild stretches of the imagination that most people could not fathom. All right. Pop quiz. For all of my players, I'm going to go in that same order, okay?
Oh,
the
dear.
same order that we started, which means Aaron's going to be first. Tell me one memory of your jaunt through the plains. Go for it, Aaron.
I'm gonna go with ramming two ships into the astral behemoth pincher grab in the middle of the sickening radiance.
Nice.
That's what.
That was a sweet move.
Rhiannon?
Oh man, Bo was so sweet, and she thought she had a baby in the dreams.
Yes.
She doesn't know how to
Artemisia
feel about that.
was caught in visions of life that could have been.
Yep.
Who's next?
Oh, Mirabelle, sacrificing my friends in a dark ritual.
Mirabelle, in another one of those visions, was going through a moody teen period where she was going to sacrifice her friends to gain magical power. And Stong mostly talked her out of it.
Hopefully it's just an illusion.
Parenting is hard.
Hopefully so.
My turn.
Yep. What does Kalith remember?
Oh, this is just a bite, isn't it? Oh my gosh, why is it moving?
Why is there a little thing moving under your skin and then it burst forth into a little slod tadpole that it had started to sprout legs and was starting to burrow forth? And Sturge helped you get rid of that, but you never found the body, so...
I have a child out there somewhere.
Parenting is hard. Parenting is hard.
All right,
We can talk.
All right, Stephen, tell me what horror Sturge took away from this experience.
Well, he had several. It's hard to pick one.
All right, well, do it.
Does it have to be a horror?
No,
I didn't pick that. No one told me.
Just
we
a
were talking
memory,
about
just a
visions.
memory.
Now I feel left out.
hey, whatever you wanted to talk about.
He swallowed a piece of a dead god.
That is true. In the Astral Sea, you were camped on the corpse of a dead god.
And he hasn't come out yet. He's been watching. So, you know.
Who knows what's going to happen with
Yeah.
that? All right, Randy, tell me something that Rogar remembers aside from the immense emotional trauma that I put him through.
Yeah, I was gonna
That
say,
fate put him through.
right, yeah, there was that. I mean, which is very much on his mind, obviously, since we're heading to potentially, the Shardlar Temple. That he had the traumatic memory of, being young in the temple, being told he was corrupted. But I think probably, I had it, and then you said that, and then I lost it.
Oh, no.
It's okay.
Was it Starjeeting the God Rock?
Or was it on the
Was it
ship?
Limbo?
Pretty cool. No. Oh,
Did it have to do with
his
Caleb's
first time bringing
wings?
someone back to life?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Fair.
Oh,
You
yeah.
brought back to
Hey,
life
I
someone
brought-
whose
I brought
alignment is
someone-
almost opposite yours.
Hey, but what a selfless thing to do.
Indeed.
Hey. Well, that was
Yes.
good. That was pretty cool. The kicking death's ass. That's a good day.
Just a little
So the
awesome.
Irregulars have returned to Westgate in heroic, death-defying fashion, high in the sky over the city. And they managed to land because somebody shapeshifted into a. Let me
Woolly?
check my notes here.
A useful
Woolly
form.
mammoth.
Useful form. Yeah.
Beanbag chair.
And then they
The woolly
found that the
beanbag.
city is somewhat in distress. Mirren is missing. Illyra is missing. Kaelin, Shadowbane is missing. And there's fighting in the streets in the east end of Westgate with folk of the Shao, specifically the Goto clan, and numerous nativist forces of Westgate opposing them. You're not really sure exactly what's going on there because you have all determined on a new course, which is to take Caliph to the monastery in the Giants Run Mountains in order to restore her wings to their proper function and splendor.
So sorry about that, chaos. That's so terrible.
Rogar did try to heal her a little bit, and it did mostly succeed.
Kind of succeeded, except for
But,
now she's lost all her feathers. Beautiful feathers.
Some of her feathers.
Well,
I was listening to the show again, and I corrected everyone at least 4 times. She only lost some of her feathers.
But
Like,
what if
there
you
are
like it
still
better that
feathers
she
there.
looks like a plucked chicken?
Yeah.
Can we overrule you?
No. It looks like she has molted. Okay.
Little
She has a
pink
bunch of
chicken wing.
small feathers that are growing out of her wings, but they look haggard and mangy and in serious need of healing. But there are no open wounds. There's no bloody marks. There are no sores. The wings appear to be mostly functional, just in need of restoration. And Rogar has a plan for that.
aye.
That involves going to the Giants Run Mountains. Now,
And I'm getting right back out to there as quickly as possible.
there are a couple of things that you want to do in Westgate before you leave, but we should have a conversation about the preparations that you make to go on this journey. So we'll fold in the things that you want to do before you leave the city. I know Stong had something he wanted to do before he left the city. So why don't we start there? That seems like a good place to start.
Okay. So Stong wants to have a conversation with Scaresair, where he wants to make her an offer where he wants to talk to her about how she feels about
When I
losing.
ask her to marry you. No, that's not the offer you meant. Okay.
Well,
Just to remind everybody,
Now we have to
Scaresair,
take back
get
all these
Yankee Pirate.
napkins.
Yes. Get Yankee Pirate, the one that Rogar rescued from death. And she and Stong have a connection of some kind. She's also missing most of her limbs. She only has her left arm.
yeah. And our meet cute is like after we spent a passionate night together, and Astral Behemoth came or Astral Dreadnought came and like rammed
That's
into
where
our
she
ship.
lost most of her limbs and her life.
Yeah. So he wants to talk to her about how she feels about missing her limbs, and then he would like to see what she would like to do about that. He knows that there are restoration spells in the realms that would help her get those limbs back, and he would certainly be willing to to pay or take on any sort of, quest to make sure that happens. What?
Benefit concert.
A benefit concert? A benefit concert. Yes, that's brilliant. My manager.
That's why I'm the manager.
That's why you are the moneymaker.
Two things. One, Scaresair has been able to manipulate and move around her body with her own telekinesis, but she can only do that once a day for about 10 minutes at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, her mobility is severely limited at the moment. Second thing, how do you have this conversation with her? Like, what's the setting? Set the scene of storyteller.
Okay. So, we're in the Purple Lady.
You're in the Purple Lady.
She's in one of the finest rooms. Stong has spared no expense. There are...
Because you get a discount because you work for the lady and Shay likes you.
Oh, that's nice. Thanks, Shay. Yeah, so Stong brings Mirabelle in with him, and he lights a bunch of scented candles, maybe the same candles that Rogar had during his graveyard ceremony, because those things were awesome. And
Scaresair's lying there on the heart-shaped bed, looking around like, what is happening right now?
And Stong will go over to her and just stand there for a little bit and just begin to blush because he doesn't really know how to begin this conversation. He doesn't just want to blurt it out.
She looks up at you and then she makes an insight check. Here we go. I see what's going on here.
Oh, oh, I'm so glad you could see right through me. I have been feeling really bad.
The answer is no.
Oh?
I haven't. Not in the last 10 days.
Oh. Well, maybe we're thinking about different things.
My cycle is every month or so, and it hasn't come up again.
We are definitely talking about different things. Scaresair. And then Stong now is just full on blushing. His green skin is got a tinge of red underneath, like you see in those tomatoes that are ripening. And
she holds up her hand. Wait. You're not here to fertilize my eggs?
Well, I mean, not this time. But I mean, I'm not against the idea, I guess, but we could talk more about that in the future.
Well, you are in luck. My eggs do not come from any of my missing limbs.
That's good to know. Stong will remember that.
Is that what you wanted to ask me about?
Partially, but
partially.
Look,
what a fine word.
Look, you've helped me and my friends out a lot over the course of these last couple of days. I have,
yes.
You've been very generous with us, and I feel really bad that you have. And then he kind of gestures around her body, he's oh, you've taken some injuries, some grievous injuries over the course of helping us. So I know that I don't know how you feel about this, but if you wanted to explore the options, there's some restoration magic I believe is available in the realms. It's not cheap, but I'm certainly willing to spring for it or take whatever quest I need to do to make sure that it happens and we could restore your limbs.
That depends. How advanced is the magic in this backwater world of yours?
It's very advanced. I mean, we've got Elm Minister, and he lists off all these other mages, high level mages.
No.
Oh.
No, I don't recognize any of those names.
Oh. Well, they're very famous here, I assure you.
Yes, well, I'm sure whatever hedge wizards you worship are fine and powerful and all, but The Lich Queen could restore me. I just need a temporary conveyance. And to fulfill my deal with you.
Remind me what our deal was. Does
You
Stong-
agreed to fertilize my eggs.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay, well, I definitely forgotten that.
Hello, talk.
I suspect you would produce powerful warriors.
Oh,
You are
thank
a
you.
powerfully built warrior.
I mean, I hope that they also have a nice creative streak and are able to make great music also.
You make music?
Oh, you didn't know?
Oh man.
I mean, I sang for you in the past. I mean, like
Is
the
that
night
what that
we met.
was?
Yeah. I mean, different cultures.
Better off without her. So he doesn't appreciate you.
Yeah, has so many layers.
So,
I shall require the services of a tinker.
a tinker.
You have gnomes in your world, yes?
Yes, we do.
That's what I mean.
All right. Would you want me to hire a tinker and send them over to your chambers?
Are you eschewing your side of the bargain?
Oh no. I think that oh my goodness.
No, I don't want to meet one of those disgusting gnomes. I shall draw blueprints.
I've never fertilized. I don't know what it really takes to fertilize these. I don't know. I feel like we could you and I could have a long discussion in a moment about how this mechanically works.
Where the town crier can't hear.
Yeah, and where we can like cut away to somebody else's scene.
Do you remember the movie A Dog and His Boy? Or A Boy and His Dog?
Yeah.
Don Johnson, post-apocalyptic thing. There's no fertile males around, and there's this underground.
Oh my god.
Remember that? Anyway.
Is
It's-
that the one where it's like something happens?
Oh well, I'm not gonna spoil it, but
Well,
it's
I'm
a
sure something happens in that movie.
Yes, something
Yes.
probably happens to the guy with the hair.
Oh boy. Anyway, so some negotiation happens,
Yeah.
Okay. and Scarasair presses upon you sheafs of parchment upon which she has drawn like arcane schematics of things. She appears to be highly intelligent and very creative.
Stong's very impressed.
Yeah, they
Whoa.
look a little bit like instructions for making armor.
Do you wish me to bring these over to a gnome tinkerer and try to get these made for you?
Yes, I will require something else as well.
Oh,
Yes. Scrolls, I believe, of a spell. Have you heard of the Archwizard Tensor?
I mean, I assume Tensor's like kind of famous in the realms because there's
Yeah.
some spells that have his name
More or
on it.
less. Like, there are some spells named after him, yes?
Yeah, so Stong, yeah.
There. Now there is a powerful wizard. I don't know why you didn't name that one. Anyway, yes, I require a scroll of his most useful utility spells, such
Ah,
as his floating disc.
a transformation is also.
Unless you
pretty
want to
cool.
carry me around to places.
I certainly can do that. I don't mind. Well,
Oh,
before
you
we
don't
leave,
mind.
before me and my friends have to go, I can show you around the city.
Well then, pick me up. Let's go.
So Stong will pick her up gently and put her to the side. So he's got like Mirabelle up in front.
No,
of
no,
her.
no, 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 no.
Oh,
Cradle me in your arms.
oh, okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
This is how it happens.
Is this love? Stong thinks in his head. Is this? But so before he steps out with her, he wants to say, "Hey, do you think that my roommate Nala also recently lost her legs? Do you think we could also do something for her, like the Lich Queen could, or the Tinker?"
Blackheath would have no interest in helping some human girl. Wait, is this a rival for your affections?
No, just a roommate. We help take care of
need
each
to
other's
fertilize
kids.
our eggs together.
Stalin makes a note that
Take
like
me to this Nala.
in Yankee culture, they're really into like fertilizing eggs.
Well, if she's in the material plane, she could drop them off here.
Oh, because
And-
they'll actually age and develop. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I understand.
Just
Oh
your
my
vision.
God. She sees that you're capable of taking care of children. She's going to dump them on you, dude.
Oh, her bio clock is going now. Okay, so Stong will bring her to Nala.
her duty to the Lich Queen. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's a sacred duty.
Anyway, so you well, we'll get back to you since we've spent a little bit of time on this. So, what else has to happen before you leave the city?
Who are you asking?
Everyone.
Well, Artemisia wants to go out for the night, but
Okay.
she can just come back in the morning. No need to ask her where she's been.
shirks any responsibility and says, "I need to unwind," and then boom, out. Excellent.
Assuming somebody in particular answered her messenger that she sent.
Did you take anyone with you?
No.
Did you tell anyone you were going?
Only if somebody like stopped me at the door and was like, Artemisia, where are you going?
Sarshan was distracted trying to relate as many potential secrets to Cecilia as possible. So he did not see you leave. Otherwise,
if
he
you're
probably
walking
would have stopped you.
past in that conversation. I would stop you because I appreciate the thought behind this, and I don't want to disrupt that. She's been talking for a long time about a lot of stuff I don't care about. So be like, hey, where are you going?
Oh, I thought that I'd go out just on the town. She looks guilty as hell. Like, you don't even need to roll for it.
You gonna pick up some hot young elf guy thing? Not Lilton. I didn't say the not Lilton. I thought it. And you probably heard it without me saying it.
Some company tonight would be enjoyable.
I'm gonna suggest a place to her that's definitely too rundown for Lilton. So she should go there.
Okay. Some tavern down up by the docks, maybe.
The Black Boot.
Black Boot.
That's where
Go
the
find a sailor.
the hot young elf lords are slumming it. For him.
Take that into
Okay.
consideration.
You ready to leave then? On this adventure, on this trip we're taking?
Well,
Also, do you know what we're supposed to be packing? Because like I didn't ask. I'm a little afraid they're gonna be like, "Where are your skis?"
I mean,
Where's your towel? Show me where your towel is.
I have the bag of things I packed from the house, and that's what I've got. So
You want to go
that's
shopping?
why I'm going out.
She seems like if I
Little
push her, she's
company.
gonna snap.
Maybe some Zar.
Okay. Well, let us know where you're going in case something happens.
Okay. Be nice to Sarshan.
And then I discovered this
Okay.
family of rabbits. But I didn't kill the rabbits. Instead, I just went into their burrow and cuddled up with them. And they were nice and warm. And it was really, really nice. But I never told anyone that because it's kind of embarrassing, really.
How bad would it be if Cecilia insisted?
Wait, where is
you?
Cecilia? Sarshan sidles over to Cecilia. Is Artemisia still there? Or did you leave?
Artemisia is going to take off, I
You're
think.
gonna use
so.
the moment of distraction to bail. Very tempted to follow, but
Your
don't wanna
sister
interrupt
has
your
a
scene.
secret.
yeah.
Not very secret.
Like, when it's not obvious, we don't necessarily call it a secret. Just go to meet her boyfriend.
Oh.
The one that she keeps insisting is not serious. But everybody thinks they're married. He's bad
Are they
news.
married?
They're not married.
What does married mean
think
exactly?
Screw around.
What?
Ask Ruan.
Ask
That's what you tell him now.
Wait a second. That never occurred to me. Oh, it means you pick one mate and you stick with your one mate, unless you have an agreement that you can also have other mates. But that one's the main mate. I don't know, man. I don't know what your basis is.
Well, mating forever. Yes?
Yes.
Oh,
Until you decide not to. That's also an option.
I thought that was just a fairy tale. Fascinating. Is your sister interested in marrying someone?
We haven't talked about it a lot. That's not really a place where we discuss things, but she does really kind of have a picture of stability in her head.
I see. What about you? Do you have a picture of stability in your head?
How about these rabbits?
Oh, yes. They were darling. One of the little rabbits hopped off into the snow and I had to go retrieve him.
Horrible.
Yes.
I assume this is where we switch to Artemisia's.
Oh, there was a
Fun
time I
date.
found a pond. All right. So we'll switch over.
Unless there's something important that he's going to
I think
spill in
Artemisia's date is mostly a fade to black sort of thing, and then she just kind of like comes back in the morning.
What? There's not like 5 minutes about talking about fertilizing eggs and biology?
Oh, they just get down to it. They don't talk about it.
Oh, I'm the lucky one, I
Oh,
see.
She's not bringing up babies
I was
yet.
going to say, is she
She
going to
needs a
tell him
house
about her
before she brings
vision?
up babies.
Oh, that's very Artemisia.
Okay.
Like, there's
are
an
any
order
of
to
you-
this.
Are any of you doing any practical preparations for your journey? Like hiring a guide, getting a map, hiring a wagon, those kind of things.
Cecilia's more of a someone will tell me if I need to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, I'll make it up as I go along. type.
Rogar? Somebody save us.
Rogar, Rogar usually relied on Zancho to do those schemes.
Oh no.
Right, so,
That's right.
Okay.
oh, Zancho Panzai. So, but I mean, he'd if you asked him to go get supplies, he'd go get some fine, like, tack bread and stuff like that. That's dwarves love. Good, it's chewy. It's like it has that nice chalk feel on your teeth, like afterwards. It's so good.
Like you've been working in the mines all day and the dust is on your lip.
Yum, yum, yum.
So you're getting some hard iron rations. is what you're doing.
I'm assuming that's what we'd need, and
Okay.
No,
The chalkier, the better. Yeah.
aye.
I feel like
And,
if Cecilia doesn't see anybody getting ready or telling her what to do, she would introduce this topic like someone's going to do this, right? So if Rogar needs a nudge to remember things that I would have done, I will provide the nudge. I don't know anything about giants or
I
mountains.
mean, I know we need Scran. I know we need a wagon, probably, right? So, and I know that I don't want to ride a horse, right? So I'd either make sure that I have a wee pony or a donkey or a wagon. So, but I would assume that like Artemisia would be taking care of that. He like arranges the carriages and does the house.
Artemisia is nowhere to be found.
I'm not going to lie.
Is her manservant? What is his name?
Varys?
Bo.
Varys.
Bo's
Bo's not
dead.
available.
Varys.
Yes, Varys. Varys will save us.
So Varys,
Varys.
I'd go to him and go, "You're a Zancho kind of guy."
He's just been drinking this ale, nursing this ale in the corner of the Purple Lady, looking around, totally out of his element. This very put together, perfect hair, perfect attire, dwarf seneschal, right? He's like,
and absolutely because of my compassion and my intuition that I see he's out of place and he needs sort of duties to perform in order to feel comfortable, and not all because I'm completely lost and have no idea what to do. I will go to him and suggest that, Varys, looks like we're going to be taking a trip out to the Giant Run Mountains, and I'm sure your lady will want to travel there comfortably. So I have no idea how to prepare for such a trip, but I'm sure you do.
Oh. Well, I've lived many of the last years here in Westgate. I haven't even left the city in 30 years. And I hardly know much about the lands beyond. But I can try.
Work with me here.
Are any of you ranger?
Oh God!
Why are you laughing? All right.
This goes back to a conversation before
What?
No,
we
I
were
think we
on.
have to tell the chat why that's
Yeah. Before we started playing, there was Eric shared a fantasy of his of creating a game in which characters who didn't choose to have a ranger went on a long wilderness expedition.
Well, because
Yeah.
a ranger's mechanically inferior, right? Unless you're on the road and you don't want to get lost. Anyway,
So like a travel agency in like Westgate that arranges these things. I don't know.
do you know any rangers?
we know
Makes
it's
ours
druid.
smell like the trail.
I
Sarsha,
guess.
do you want to come with us and tell us which way the road is based on the smell of a place you haven't been? He might say yes. He might be like, oh yeah, I can totally do that.
How close could we get by sea?
It's an overland
I was
journey.
gonna say, I don't think the sea goes there.
Boy, we have
Barris
to
is like,
yourself
well,
as
I
travelers,
will do some research for you and hopefully acquire the services of a more seasoned guide.
that would be great. That would
Do
be
you
good.
have some coin that I might offer to secure these services?
Of course.
Mhm.
Reduce some coin, I suppose.
Unfortunately, I left most of my lady's credit in the house, or it was destroyed in the haunting.
Oh.
No.
If I had her, perhaps, then maybe I could convince the bank to give me coin. But yes, well, I'll reimburse you, of course.
Of course. Absolutely. Well, no need. I mean, this is for the benefit of all. I do not need the reimbursement.
Indeed.
Caring for my friends.
Why don't you go ahead and make me an insight check?
It's a 3 plus something. So very insightful.
Okay. So like a 7 or 8.
It is actually not bad, 11.
This is always the way. Oh, I rolled a 3. Oh, but I got an 11. All right. Well, he seems very tired and a little bit embarrassed by his inability to get this all done for you. But yeah, if you give him some coin, it should help.
And I told him, and Varys, you've been through so much, and I cannot tell you how much we appreciate all you've done for us. So just do your best, and I'm sure it will be sufficient. And if you cannot finish the task, I'm sure we can find a way to do it.
All right.
You're not in this alone.
Very good. Very good. Very good, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, we appreciate
Pats you on the shoulder kind of awkwardly. Okay. Anyone else doing anything before you leave the city?
Yes.
Okay. What is Sturge doing?
Sturge needs to find out what this sword is all about. So he's
Okay.
going to go up into his room and he's going to sit down and light some candles and cast the ritual Identify on the sword.
Okay. So the power in the sword is it resists you. It is difficult, and you're trying to get through the spells laid upon it.
Do I need to pour in higher slots, like a third level. That's as I've got. As I've got.
Make an Arcana check, please.
Okay.
I don't know if someone cast plot mystery on the sword. That's a level 14 spell. I
Love
don't
that
think you're gonna
spell.
get through it.
I hate that spell.
Well,
No, that means it's interesting. It's not going to be like, oh, it's a +2 sword.
I got a 22.
You got a 22. Excellent. Okay. So you're able to push through the protective magic around
Nice.
the sword and get to some truth in it. And there is an entity inside the sword, you think. There's an intelligence within the sword. On its own, it is a +3 slashing weapon with the finesse property.
Wow.
+3.
Mhm.
Dang.
And it gives you resistance
Yeah.
to psychic damage while you're holding it.
Nice. No one can viciously mock me so well.
Armor of ego.
Nice. Now, and then
When you cast this spell and you commune with the sword, you find yourself in a darkened room, sitting before a small brazier burning with purple light. The sword is floating above the brazier, surrounded by purple fire of its own. Sitting on the other side of this brazier is the aged elf. Except that he doesn't look aged, he looks in the prime of his life. You just know that it's him, even though he doesn't really look the same. He looks centuries younger. But his eyes are the same, old, world-weary eyes. And he looks across at you and he says, you could not resist the temptation.
are you trapped here?
We are both trapped here.
Don't take this the wrong way, but it seems you're the one in a sword.
You're
And I'm the
in
one
a sword.
I'm visiting.
Are you
Yes.
I wonder, can I help you get out of the sword?
To where?
Where just out of the sword. Seems
Hmm.
you're stuck in it or around it. You can't leave it very far behind.
Can I remove you from your body? What would you be if you were not you?
So you are the sword and you've always been the sword.
No,
What were you before?
I was an elf, a warrior, a wanderer,
And
an avenger,
How did
as you are now.
how did you end up in a sword?
That is a very long story, and I can only tell you part of it. I could tell you more as time progresses, but you have to experience it for yourself in order to understand.
And you have no desire to leave the sword.
I am the sword. I cannot leave it, just as you cannot leave you. Why has it bonded to you? That is what I wish to know. What is it about you that is interesting, special?
If you're the sword, can't you answer that?
I have considered it. Why?
I chose.
Why have the black arrows struck you?
This, you're speaking in riddles. I'm unaware of any black arrows. I can tell you why I chose.
What of that one? And he points at your chest. You see a black shafted arrow sticking through your heart.
Whoa.
Well,
The black archer has marked you,
which
just as he marked me.
I see. And which archer is this? Does he have a name? Or she? Or they?
He is the Black Archer, the Night Hunter, the Arrow Bringer, the Avenger of our people.
The Night Hunter.
He is Chevarash, and he has marked you.
All right.
My condolences.
You know, as I was telling a friend, I have at least one higher being's enmity already. I'm hoping the two will cancel each other out.
They'll fight over the right to fight you or kill you.
Yes. Or at least that this one power may help me to defeat the other. Even if it costs me. I mean, I'm willing to pay some prices. It seems you've received a kind of immortality from this. That's not nothing.
Your spirit is refreshing.
Hmm.
It is
Well.
worse than nothing.
Hmm. You know,
I would have much preferred to live out my life and my death. As you will, I'm sure, in time.
Okay. Can I know your name? Or can I name you?
It has been a long time since I have had a name.
Name him, name him, name him.
Purple Flamer comes to mind because of the flames and they're purple on the blade. But if you have
a good companion to Mr. Whippy.
Oh, we should have remembered that he called his rapier Mr. Whippy. You should not name anything. Let us name him for you.
Well, and the whole, like, we'll give you a terrible name unless you fess up to your own, like, didn't work on Jiggle Wolf, so.
I have a name for you if you like. A creature that I admire. Halal.
You name me for a different god. You are an interesting wielder.
He said a different god.
God, you say? You're a god.
No.
You're a god.
No. I serve the purposes of a god.
And that would be
You will discover it to your great pain.
Chevarash.
Yes. Chevarash.
Can we just name him a god? AGODD.
Roll initiative. What do? I pull out a god. Strike the enemy.
From my pocket.
Well, if you don't mind, I will call you Halal.
Very well.
It's pithier than servant of Chevarash.
It is.
I thank you. Is there anything
Do not.
How do I make? Oh, how do we get along best? You and I.
I shall consider.
Till next time, then.
You have entertained me. That is true. I look forward to further entertainment.
Sturge bows floridly and tries not to poke one of the black arrows into his knee as he does so. And he does try to pull an arrow out.
Oh, okay. You are gripped by horrendous body-rending pain, and you abruptly awaken in your bed, in your own bed.
Don't touch the arrows. Don't touch the arrows.
Yeah, your chest is still burning. You have to look down to see that you're not wounded.
Pulls his chest. Okay.
At least you got out.
Oh, and you have the sword in your hand, by the way.
Wow.
Like the grip is in your left hand.
claw. All right. Well, he belts it on, and he assumes. I assume I'm already attuned to it. Then,
You are.
okay. And I'm going to go downstairs and look for someone. Talk to. Hands shaking just a little.
Who are you looking for? Anyone in particular?
Actually, Cecilia.
Hmm.
She in the room?
Am I still there listening to this section?
Well, it's the following morning, and
Oh.
Wagons have arrived.
Oh, I'll wait then. I'll wait on that. Okay.
Okay.
Shit.
And who is up in the common room first?
Definitely it is not Cecilia.
Not
Oh.
Stall.
Well,
Y'all are going
Rogar
to
would
bang
be
on the door to wake up Cecilia.
Up for his morning
Might
prayers,
it be
so-
Caliph? Because Caliph doesn't sleep
Caliph.
really as much as anyone else.
Yeah, and it seems like everyone else is either dead to the world or, doing a walk of shame home.
Okay.
I was going to say,
Straight
Artemisia
up.
will be arriving soon.
Walk of
She wants to get in like she just got up early.
Hey, you're wearing the same
Caliph, you were
outfit.
We're all lined up, and we're just waiting to slow clap. He comes in the common room.
Okay. Wagons and horses have arrived outside. And the door opens to admit a small, sturdy feminine form. And she looks around and says, "Ah!" And she comes over to you. She is a dwarf, and her name is Narcy Felsicle.
Oh,
Met her?
Narcy?
Marcy, yeah.
That's right. I sent a picture of her to Yang Ying if he finds some way to put it up on the stream. Anyway, she is. Let me see. She has a kind of studious mien. She wears spectacles, and she has brown hair and a pair of hand axes and a bow. She's all outfitted for the road. And her dire weasel, whose name is Badger, is with her as well.
Hey, long time no see.
Hello! It's so good to see you.
So
I heard that you were off for a quest, and I have come to help.
Yeah, I don't know if any of us actually know how to read a map.
Yeah, apparently nobody thinks of rangers as being useful. Anyway, I'm a ranger.
Oh, good. This will make it so much easier.
Indeed.
So,
Badger goes,
feed him some cheese.
nibble, nibble, nibble. Nurse is like, oh, that's kind of you. Hey, what happened to your wings? Aw,
Nothing.
okay.
So,
Something harrowing, I guess.
well, I don't know that Caliph would actually be showing them because, they're pretty ugly right now. Just like throw a cloak over them or something.
Yeah. Okay, so you're basically hiding them.
Yep.
Yeah, she picked up on that. She's
Okay.
someone insightful. She's like, okay, well, I won't press. Where's everyone else?
Caliph is going to turn around and scream up the stairs. Cecilia, wake up.
You see a kind of zombified looking Sturge just like wandering down the stairs like shell shocked. Like,
Do I smell like BO? I'm sorry. I've been sweating a lot. Oh.
Why have you
like
been
Sturge is
sweating?
usually very well put together.
Why have you been sweating a lot?
Heartburn.
Heartburn makes you sweat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna go
Uh,
straight to the bar. He doesn't usually drink.
I do like wall of water on a very small area around him to try and really
It's a wall of water. No, you could blanket the common room in water though if you wanted to.
I think Artemisia would get mad.
She would. Don't do that to our host. I don't want to
Okay.
sleep on the street.
Can you press to digitate Theo? Is that a thing? You can get dirt off, but can you get like
Oh, I can
Stink.
make it smell good.
You could,
that?
yeah.
It's like get the stink molecules off, and you're like, or it can smell better.
Root beer flavor.
Okay. The
George is so
other
delightfully weird.
the other tender, who is not Shay, is at the bar. She's just a human woman of maybe 30, 40 years old. And she's like, rough night, huh? Slides a bowl of simmer stew over to you.
Oh, I don't think I can eat. Maybe just
She pours you an ale.
No, I'm sorry. You're not getting it right this morning.
She pours you a shot of something.
There we go.
She says, drink the ale next. Eat the stew after that.
All right. He just knocks back the whatever the shot is, and tries not to choke.
Make Constitution save.
Okay. Constitution check.
Constitution saving throw.
11.
It tastes like fire, but you're not knocked on your butt.
Okay.
You do feel a little bit tipsy.
Excuse me while I plug in my computer before it dies.
No worries. Anyway, Sturge is drinking at the bar.
Sturge just fell down.
Strong drink.
Um,
And a shout out to, by the way, that I saw the image, Lori Krell, artist.
yes, Lori does a lot of our art, and Anna does a bunch of the others as well. They are both fantastic artists. I'm so happy to have their work. All right. Yes, speaking of Narcy. Is that Rogar? I'd recognize that clacking of metal anywhere.
Ah, I never see.
She runs up to him and throws her arms around him. You big handsome dwarf.
Oh, what? Hello, Narcy. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm quite well, thank you. He's trying to remember if all mountain dwarves are this gregarious.
Really? Narcy has largely shed her accent too. She has a very Westgate sort of accent.
Aye.
Although she is very peppy and maybe oversells it, right? She's like, huh? She pats at your armor. She's like, huh? Had somebody polishing your armor for you, did you? Ha ha ha! Naughty, naughty.
Oh, no, he blushes. It's not like that. It's a Roomba. It's our pit gelatinous cube. He does a fine job of keeping it clean. I wish. No, I don't wish.
Gelatinous cube. You hear a roar, and then something jumps onto your shoulder. It is a dire weasel that has jumped onto your shoulder.
Uh-oh.
And is like
Hello.
scrabbling for something that's crawling on you.
Uh-oh.
No,
And Narcy says, down, Badger, down, down, down. Meanwhile, Roomba is like, he's crawling along your helmet.
Okay, Roomba, it's okay.
Do not eat that. No.
Do not eat that. No.
All right. Eventually that scuffle resolves itself. Okay. We're ready for Artemisia to show up? Or do we want Artemisia to be last?
How much of an audience do you want when you walk in?
Exactly.
She can be last. We'll
Okay.
do that to her.
Okay. Stong, you show up. You were exhausted last night and you have slept a little bit longer than usual because Scarezer had you show her all around the city.
How'd she like the tour of Westgate? Was there anything that really caught her eye?
Well, let's see.
You.
So she found the guard tower in the middle of the market, an interesting commentary. She liked the pitch-covered heads mounted above the walls.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people admire those.
She found the site of the moldering, mostly submerged docks to be hilarious. Like she just like stupid humans.
Oh, yeah. Some random event caused that to collapse recently.
Some random event, like weather is random. You do have weather in this world, right?
We do.
That's something I miss from Prime Material Worlds is weather. There's no weather in the astral sea unless you count the thought storms, and really you shouldn't.
Well, what
And
kind of?
then you dropped her off at the machinist shop, which doubles as a shrine to Gond,
Cool.
where
Okay.
she was very put out that most of the priests were human and not gnomes. But
Okay.
also like a little bit relieved because you get the sense that she doesn't really like gnomes very much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she likes gnomes slightly less than she likes humans.
Okay, yeah. So I think Stong will, drop her off there and just remind her to consider fetching Nala, and helping Nala with her legs as well.
Right. You did introduce her to Nala as well. And she and Nala have kind of an immediate recognition of each other. And you're like, oh, maybe people who, have damaged their limbs or something. And then they start talking shop about war because Nala is a former soldier and Scarcer is a current soldier, although she is AWOL technically. So yeah, they were talking about siege engines and swords and axes and spears and the advantage of those three things and which one is the best counter to which of the others.
Stong is greatly relieved that no
Yeah,
blood
and
has
they're
been
having a
shed.
great old time
Whew, okay.
while they're being fitted for prosthetics.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna check up on you. I'm gonna send you a sending sometime tomorrow.
Yeah.
But sure, you too. Oh, okay.
Nala says, "That's very kind of you, Song. Thank you."
Thanks, Nala.
She grabs your hand. She says, "Thank you for coming for us too. Thank you for rescuing us. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but we're really grateful."
There was not a day that passed by that I was not worried to death about you.
Well, I hope that's not true. Rogar can't bring everyone back to life, can he? And Scarcer's like, apparently only partially. And then they both laugh at that.
Oh, poor Rogar. Well, all right.
My track record's not great.
So yeah, Stong, ends up going downstairs into the common room, and he brings Mirabelle with him, and he's so a curious thing. The last thing that he does, like the night before, is he got this red dragon skin from Scarcer, and he's
That's
been
right.
wearing this barrel this entire time. So he's going to try to use the animate object spell
Oh no.
in order to animate this red dragon skin and get it to fold itself into a matching outfit, into two, outfits, a matching daddy-daughter red dragon skin.
Onesies?
No,
Jumpsuits?
onesie for her, jumpsuit for him, yeah.
When they're on
Oh,
grown-ups,
boy.
they're called jumpsuits.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Adult
Okay.
onesies.
Okay. One of these days you got to wear the jumpsuit on the stream, right?
Oh,
Okay, sure.
Okay. When it gets colder again. Anyway, okay.
have our
So
pajama
you,
party
I don't
stream.
I don't know if our viewers, want me in a onesie, but yeah.
You do produce those. Okay, viewers, leave a comment if you would like to see Yang Yang wearing a brown bear?
It's a brown
Onesie?
bear. It's a brown bear
Brown bear.
onesie.
Mhm.
I will get a red dragon one.
That would be cool.
Okay,
That'd be very cool.
all right. So you get these jumpsuit / onesies, and you look terrifying in these things. Because this isn't just like a costume or like an outfit that you're putting on. It's the skin of a horrible living thing. Right? Right.
Yeah.
And like Mirabelle loves it. She's like, this is great.
Stong is so
she's
pleased.
running all around and she's leaving a little trail of blood behind her.
Oh, I prestidigitate that blood. Just clean up, right? Follow her and clean up. And I know there's no slow-mo spell, really, but I'd like to think that as Stong and Mirabelle are coming down the stairs together, he's holding her and they're both like walking a little bit of slow motion, and he like prestidigitates a little breeze going through their hair.
For some reason, I just thought of that song from Kill Bill playing. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
he's going to saunter up to the table with his friends and be like, hey, guys.
Yeah. Everyone in the common room is looking at you, and Stong is going,
Yeah. Feeling fresh. Is Artemisia there?
no.
Oh.
Everyone is gathered. Well, Cecilia is the last one to show up.
Cecilia, do you
Right.
think Artemisia
Yeah.
will like this? I made it myself.
That's amazing. I want to see her face when she sees it.
Me too. All right, so Stong's going to sit down and order some food for him and his daughter.
I'm going to ask why we have to leave so early because it's not like the mountains are going anywhere.
Yeah, that's a good point. We made a poor decision.
not.
Let's go back to bed.
Okay. The door opens. Artemisia walks in. Artemisia. Brianna, why don't you describe what Artemisia looks like?
Well, so her hair is actually down in like one single braid. It's not up in a coronet, which probably only Cecilia has seen her with her, not her hair like down, but like back in a single braid before. And her clothes look pretty good. Like she hung them up carefully last night so that they're not like wrinkled from like being thrown on the floor or anything, or at least she went back and picked them up off the floor and hung them up last night at some point. But so she's rarely put together, but kind of ragged around the edges. And of course, she's got on her hand the symbol that the house put on there. And she sort of like looks at it every so often. So Stong, are you sitting where she could like see you like when she walks in?
Yeah. And as soon as you get in, he's going to like stand up, like pretend like it's casual, and then hold his child up with him. Be like, hello, Artemisia.
Cecilia's going to go.
What do you think?
So she
Mirabelle
freezes.
That's a pose as well.
Daddy dog.
Bustia.
And then I'm gonna move the mic. But what she's gonna do is she's gonna be like, "What?"
I think she likes it, Mirabelle.
Mirabelle's like,
Why?
Well, I could just walk around with a barrel on the whole time. We're going to the mountains. It's going to be cold.
Do you like the barrel better?
mountains. Mirabelle like waves her long sleeves around, and blood flicks off of the sleeves.
It hasn't clotted yet.
Artemisia, make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh no.
Oh God. 16.
Sorry.
Okay, you narrowly dodge out of the way of getting blood on your face.
You're basically wearing like a distant cousin of Artemisia. So,
Well, now you're getting mad, Artemisia, and you guys have seen her before, but not very often.
Do
So
I
she's gonna
know that you're part
storm
dragon?
over.
Do I know that you're part dragon?
I'm
Ooh.
not
I
sure.
think so. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna storm over, and you can kind of see her scales a little bit because she doesn't like hide them, but she does tend to wear long sleeves and whatever. So she's gonna take her sleeves and she's gonna like rip it up, and she's gonna be, "Are you gonna skin me next?"
Whoa.
oh.
Okay.
I think the answer is no.
I'm gonna come take Artemisia around the arms and be like, why don't we come over here and have a pre-trip drink next to Sturge?
Well, Mirabelle, I think
Did you not
we've
get any sleep last night?
made a mistake.
Not a lot. I thought things would be better in the morning, but the house is still gone and Bo is still gone, and I'm sorry. I'm
This
fine.
lady some breakfast czar. That's a thing, right?
The tender pours a warm glass of Czar for you.
That's what we call breakfast czar.
Nah.
Like,
It's been a little
Ooh,
early, she says as she drinks it.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, but this whole trip is a little early. Like, this shouldn't really be happening until afternoon when it would be absolutely reasonable to drink Tsar anyway. Plus, it sounds like maybe you need to sleep in the wagon a little. Maybe.
So
why is Stong? She's gonna turn away. so
There's
she
a
can't-
couple reasons. One, he doesn't have clothes except that barrel. Two, I think it's kind of to honor Remorax because Scaresair gave it to him. I don't know. It's a weird Get Yankee Red Dragon thing, I think.
Oh.
So Artemisia, you turn away and you find like just a big weasel face right next to you, going.
I could say in Beast speech and be like, Badger, not now.
Badger looks up at you. "Hmm?" And then Narcy appears standing next to Badger. And she's like, what have I said about getting up on top of stools? And Badger goes, and then hops down. And then Narcy hops up on the stool. And she says,
That's your
Lady
pet?
Tara Rowan.
Oh, I remember you. Yes, that's your pet.
Well, my companion, yes.
Oh, okay.
I am here to guide you to your destination. She
Right.
lays out this big map across the table, almost knocking over your drink,
Thank you. I should have
which you
arranged
just rescued by lifting.
that. I should have arranged that last night. So, thank you. Did they pay you yet? Do I need to arrange that?
It's handled. We can handle things.
Oh, yeah,
That's right.
the messenger said that I should just send the invoice to Badger. So not that Badger, the other Badger.
Doesn't that get confusing?
No, he hates it though. It's fine.
I like that.
All right, good. Okay, map. Kind of hard with like not much sleep and breakfasts are, but focus. Yes.
Yes, in fact, Sturge and Artemisia both have one level of exhaustion.
Ooh. From different
does that-
sources.
That do mechanically.
I will look it up and tell you exactly what it does, but it's not great.
Sleeping in the wagon, please.
Okay, so are you all ready to start out on your journey?
Well, before we go, Rogar is going to gather everyone for a morning inspirational sermon.
Good.
And the theme
Does
of
everyone include Ruin and Sarshan?
Did they get up at this ungodly hour?
Yeah.
Well,
8 o'clock or whatever it is.
are they?
we can have them show up.
Where do they sleep? Where are they staying? Are they staying here? I haven't been paying attention.
So
Cecilia, I mean.
Sarshan comes wandering down the stairs, wearing his cloak. His hair is all mussed.
Is he wearing his pants?
He looks at Cecilia. Cecilia looks at him, and he goes, "Right," and then he heads back upstairs. Passing Ruin on the way. Ruin is fully dressed, like he's a civilized person. And he comes down. He's like, "Pants." And
Pants.
Sarshan's like, he heads up, and Ruin comes down. Hello. He seems perfectly at ease and rested.
Morning.
Good morning, sisters.
Good morning, ish. We're having a moment here.
Oh,
So Rogar will welcome join the circle. So today's lesson is on the value of forgiveness. And in his
Ran looks at Cecilia.
he talks for
Stong looks
10
at
minutes,
Artemisia.
about the value of forgiveness and compassion. And in his mind, of course, he occasionally glances over at Kalis and
Sturge
goes
looks at
back.
his drink.
And and he's thinking of the tensions yesterday between Cecilia and Ruin and Sarshan that he observed, and the tensions he just saw between Artemisia and Stone, and and he's also thinking about what he's facing when he gets to the outpost. And man, forgiveness would be really nice. And so he's very inspired to inspire all of you with thoughts of forgiveness and compassion, because in the end, what we really value is our connections to one another, and we don't want to damage those. And sometimes forgiveness, even if we don't feel that, even if we don't feel that we were in the wrong, is often the best path forward if we value those connections. And for listening to my 10-minute sermon on forgiveness, you each get 11 bonus hit points.
Ooh,
Nice.
Hit points.
Nice.
Temporary hit points, sorry.
Cecilia is definitely thinking, what if the connection you have with someone is an unending grudge?
Should say, Caleb, your maximum hit points have gone back to normal. You've recovered from that injury. Ruan says, why? Do you have an unending grudge with someone, sister?
We have to go somewhere, so you don't have time to listen to this list. I also didn't mean to say it out loud, but I'm okay saying I did.
Sarshan reappears, this time with pants.
Good job.
Oh, hello. Are you all going somewhere?
Yes, we're going to the Giants Run Mountains to the Dwarven outpost.
I see.
You want to come?
Did you want me to come?
Did we pack enough stuff? I don't know what happened. Who's in charge of rations?
I would be happy to come.
Well, you should come then, Sarshan. I want you to come.
Great, I will. All right. So you're all ready to set out then?
I think so.
Okay. Well, let's take a break.
Do we need to take some Czar with us from the bar?
Probably.
No.
Celia thinks we should take Czar with us, then apparently we are taking Czar with us.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
We could trade it if
They don't have any
drink it.
jeweled back there, right? I assume.
They do not. All
So I
right.
don't like this bar very much.
I guess Rogar should have thought of that. Like, if we're going to this outpost, anything that, like, if I were a gold dwarf in an outpost, what I might appreciate in terms of, like, trade gifts.
Booze,
Like a
booze,
gift?
booze,
I was gonna
booze,
say it's
booze,
basically all the
booze,
partially
booze.
drunk booze behind the bar. That's what we have access to right now.
So basically,
I'll-
we're going to be riding a party bus up into the mountains.
Oh, yeah.
I'll do that last minute. Oh crap! It's Christmas morning. Everything's closed except for the gas station. What can I buy as a gift at the gas station? Version of okay, right. Just give me whatever you got behind the bar there. We'll just grab that and we'll pick up.
We'll pick up some interesting looking rocks along the way. Although that's a traditional Westgate gift. I'll help
Wow.
you. I'm real good at this.
Wow.
I can always give some of my music for free.
All right. We're going to take our mid-session break.
All right.
So do we have any business or anything that we want to do during the break? I don't think so. So we'll be back here in about 10 minutes.
Oi.
Yep. Ellen, well met. Welcome back. Yay. All right. We are now into the second half of the session tonight, when we're going to do the thing that was supposed to happen in the first 10 minutes. I have an anecdote about this. Many years ago, some friends, I run a game for them at Gen Con every year. And we order food and we drink some drinks and we play games. And one year, I was trying to run the Dragon Age RPG, which is from Green Ronin. You should definitely play it. It's a great game. But I was trying to start the game, and every time I tried to say specifically, okay, so you're in the dungeon, right, to start the game, they would derail it in some way. And so this happened over and over and over again. And literally 3 hours later, and 47 attempts to start the game,
Wow.
we were all too drunk to continue playing. So that is
Oh,
forever
dear.
referred to as "so you're in the dungeon" game. And if I ever use that inside joke, you know what it means.
Now you're inside.
All right.
Now we're all inside.
So it's a call for us to derail you, is what you're saying.
Journey
It
begins.
sounds like when we drink.
You're in the wagons or on the horses, leaving the city, led by Narcy Felsicle, who, thank the gods, knows what she's doing.
Just gotta hire the right people, apparently.
Everyone's like, oh, rangers are so mechanically subpar, but this one is very important to this game. All right. It is early chess. Chess is the third month of the Faerunian calendar. In the real world, this would be like March sort of time. So it is still very cold and drizzly. There's rain coming down. And I suspect most of you are inside the covered wagon so that the rain is not falling on your head.
Right.
Narcy seems to enjoy the rain. And so does Sarshan. And they are up there chatting with each other on the driver's bench of the wagon.
Mountain dwarfs are weird.
And Badger, that is Narcy's dire weasel companion, has curled up in the middle of the wagon floor amongst all of you. And his fur is keeping your feet very warm if you're keeping your feet under it. The world is this magical, glistening place. It feels nice to have a sky again after all that time in the Astral Sea and then inside the Astral Dreadnought. Even if it is filled with dark gray and purple clouds.
Oh, that sounds.
Yeah. So as you're bumping along there, the wagon is big enough for 8 people to sit comfortably inside. Ruin is riding in the wagon. He's sitting next to Rogar, in fact.
Oh.
He's like, oh, this is making me a little bit dizzy. Are all human conveyances like this?
I don't know. Ones I've been in, they never like all the seats are too high, in my opinion.
Now, these seats seem really, really low. Like his legs are bent upward and then downward, right? Because this is Narcy's wagon, and it is built for people of the perfect height.
Oh, good. Well then.
Dwarves.
Aye. Well, this is actually a really nice one. Human conveyances, I cannot recommend, but this is a quite nice one.
Okay, so Narcy recommended that you take the trader road to Tazir and head south from there. The alternative is that you could go south overland to the Redden River and then row upstream to the lake that is its source. But she says it would be much safer to go along the road.
Also sounds like less rowing.
The rowing part is the part I'm more concerned about.
It would also take much longer to go on the road
Sounds
than
like
to
Oregon.
cut through the wild land.
Like
What do you
the river.
It's a
Yeah.
little wild land.
Fording
I
the river
mean,
sounds safe.
But we want to probably get there. Let's see. It's the start of what's the month again?
Chess.
Chess?
And when did that letter say that the Holy Mother would probably be arriving at
She
the outpost?
intends to conduct her ceremony on the spring equinox, which takes place on Chess the 19th.
So we've got 19
It is currently
days.
Chess the 3rd. So you have 16 days until that ritual is supposed to happen.
So we've
You're not
got,
sure exactly what day she will arrive at the monastery.
right. So let's say 14 days to be safe to make sure we're nowhere near the dwarven outpost. Right. So I mean, what's the travel time like for these two? Well, when we're talking, the other one's going to take much longer. Or how much longer? are we talking?
RC estimates the distance is 200, 300 miles. Possibly like a 10-day if you take the roads all the way down there. If you want to cut that,
great.
if you want to cut that into a shorter distance
Aye.
by taking a slightly less safe route, you could probably get there in like 8 days.
I mean, safe sounds so boring, doesn't it?
Safe sounds okay after what we just went through.
Well,
Kalith is gonna back Rogar up just because Rogar's the one who's gonna be fixing her wing.
I mean,
in my experience, the safety of roads is overrated. So
Makes sense.
I can't imagine that this is that much more dangerous.
and really, and we're like the irregulars. I mean, if there's danger for travelers in the area, we should probably take care of it for those poor travelers. I'm just
Ruin
saying.
says, well, you are heroes. You have a great deal of power and strength.
It's gonna give Ruin look like.
I'm sure you will be able to defeat any opponent that comes upon us.
But then now
He's looking a little bit green.
Yeah, Rogar's feeling bad now because he doesn't want to put his friends in danger just because he doesn't want to face them. Well, all right.
Rude. We wouldn't be in any more danger. We're very tough.
You know what? Ruin says finally. I'm just going to. Yeah, he opens the door of the carriage wagon as it's going, and just leaps out. And as he leaps out, he turns into an eagle and flies off into the sky.
Oh, great idea! Stong, who's been crammed into this thing, is gonna leap out after him and then also transform into an eagle and follow him.
Just show offs.
With the polymorph spell?
Yeah.
Okay. What does your eagle look like, Stone?
Mine looks like an eagle with slightly greenish feathers, but its head mane has really long dangling feathers.
Okay. Cool.
He also has tusks.
And instead of lips or beak, he has lips.
It's like a human mouse.
I think if anything else, the eagle is slightly chubby, he's got a little bit of a belly.
Ate a few too many fish, this eagle.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. So yeah, you two eagles are flying in the raining sky.
Yeah, I've got Mirabelle in my talons.
Oh my god.
I know Rogar feels bad too because he should have when Rowan said he wasn't feeling well, Rogar should have offered to heal him or something, and he didn't because he was all thinking about his own problems. He feels bad.
So the rest of you sitting in that carriage, you can make your insight check automatically that Rogar is obviously uncomfortable and unhappy, or anxious would be the term.
Ugar,
Aye.
says Sturge, still exhausted and sleeping.
Aye.
What do you expect to find when you meet this Mother Superior?
Holy Mother. Well, thankfully we will not have to worry about that because probably won't happen, right? We'll get there and we'll leave. And but if I did, I imagine she's just Well, I did not leave under the greatest circumstances, as you know. They didn't believe in the Bogglewomps. They didn't believe in the vision that Sharinlar gave to me, and they were going to hold me there because they were worried that me talking about the Bogglewomps and how maybe Sharinlar is cooler than Gormgothin and more powerful and a bunch of stuff. They worried it might not go over well, and so they really wanted to just kind of keep me there, and I didn't want to be there.
So what do you expect when you see her? Are they going to clap you in chains? Are they going to try to re-indoctrinate you? Are they going to, what do you expect? I think
that's an excellent question. Well, I do not think that they can take Sharinlar's grace away from me, but if they represent the church, My biggest concern is that they strip me of any official bearing and title as a cleric or Sharindlar, because even if I had her power, I would not be allowed. I might be banished and exiled from the Gold Dwarf community, and the whole purpose of having Sharindlar's grace is to help my people. That's all I've ever been raised to do, is to help my people, the Gold Dwarfs. And that's the be all end all of all of this. And if they take that away from me, it doesn't really matter if I have Sharindlar's grace, if I cannot use it.
Rogar, that's when you start your own church of Sharindlar. You'd call it the Rogarian splinter faction of the Church of Sharindlar.
You could give people breakfast czar with your sermons. I bet you would. I could get your church full, I bet.
Let her be your manager.
Okay, wait. So I want to ask ground rules. Is she hexable or not hexable?
Sharindlar?
No, the Holy Mother. Man, if I can hex a god, I'm hanging out with you guys. I kid.
No, I would not want it to do that. She's very powerful, and also, it would not go over well.
I'll check again when we're there, but I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, maybe keep it in your back pocket. Eh? So that's a very interesting, Sturge, no. I mean, I am merely a cleric. I am not someone to start a church of Sharindlar. I say, but there's like a little gleam in my eye. And a little, you can see all the wheels starting to turn a wee bit, but then I'm like, no. Who am I to start a church of Sharindlar?
She obviously chose you.
Well, she chooses many to be her servants and her clerics. And she's chosen me. She gave me the vision of the Bogglewomps. So clearly I need to figure out what that is about. And then once I understand that, if I can and have proof of that, then I can convince the Holy Mother, and it will become church doctrine. And then, all the clerics of Sharindlar will be able to bring their full power and focus against the Bogglewomp menace. So,
until then, do they call it the Bogglewompian heresy?
They call it the Bogglewomp heresy.
I bet you could get a lot of people. That's a very sexy sounding heresy. Here's a question though. In this of us, how many of us believe in the Bogglewomps? Have we had this conversation? You guys saw something in the graveyard. Has that converted people to belief of the Bogglewomps? Or are we all still a little like, yeah, okay, buddy?
I don't think you've ever discussed it.
I feel like we would have, though. So this is the flashback to the conversation we have about Rogar's state of mind.
Sturge is pretty sure it's a metaphor. He's not. He doesn't think Rogar thinks it's a metaphor, but he isn't sure what the metaphor is, what it represents. But there was something there.
Stong thinks. Oh, go ahead.
No, but yeah, that's all.
Stong is flying around up in the storm.
I thought we were doing flashback.
Thinking back to the flashback.
Yeah, I thought we were doing this flashback conversation.
Okay. I just want to make that clear.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So I think Stong saw enough stuff that he would think that it could be actually something. He would believe his friend Rogar. He wouldn't even question it.
Caliph would believe that Rogar believes that it's real, pending further evidence to sway her in either direction. It's yeah, it's real.
So you're all at least open to the possibility that he's absolutely correct.
I think it's fundamentally the only part that matters is that I'm pretty sure the Holy Mother is wrong. And maybe Sharindlar too. She seems like she's jerking Rogar around a lot. But I'll wait and see.
But as long as
I'm not going to say that to you. That's
But what do you think you saw in the graveyard, Stephen? What was your perspective of that?
some darkness. There was a darkness. I was dancing really hard, so and I was dancing for two of us because Caliph wasn't having any dancing. So. There was a darkness. Stong, do you remember?
Stong definitely remembers the darkness, and he feels like it was more than natural darkness.
Yo,
Hmm.
definitely. But
There's enough.
Go on.
Let's say there's enough weird stuff in this world. Like maybe some of them could also be called bogglewomps. Well, I don't know. There's also a lot of stuff with strange names.
Darkness, imprisoning he, all Rogar sees, absolute bogglewumps. I get it. Okay.
All right.
And
Settled.
and Rogar came out to the cemetery doubly convinced that bogglewomps are real, but he, that great darkness. He between that and things that Ruan and others have said, he's starting to worry that they really are somehow connected to him, and that and he needs to figure out why. Like, I'm a boggle. Like, yeah. Does that mean, yeah? Am I a portal? Am I somehow how they're gaining access to the world? Is there something that about me or that I'm doing, or
Okay. So this conversation transitions into you're sitting around the fire at camp that evening. Did you decide that you were taking the road, or did you want to take the shortcut?
Is there anything interesting on the shortcut? Like ruined city?
Maybe.
There's more likely to be magic items in some place called the Wildlands than the trade road.
Let's go with
It's
the
also
wild.
more likely
Just
to
for the
be
record.
monsters that eat you. Yeah.
Well,
Listen, we've
Artemisia
been eaten by
was,
the biggest monster possible, and we came
was,
out.
was
Yeah.
kind of napping, but she wouldn't object to the shortcut.
That's why we're keeping her napping.
How many people are still sober/awake enough to actually give an opinion on this?
I'm over at Jeweled, so I'm just fine.
Well, Narcy told you that it would make sense to follow the road until you were basically close to Tezir before breaking off and heading south. So that's what you've been doing, and this is you're going to break off and go south.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I'm going to need someone to roll a d20 for me, please.
Who's doing
Who's
it?
gonna be? Who's gonna
I'm
be?
doing it. 18.
Thank you.
Nice roll.
I hope.
Okay.
Not me. I have unlucky rolls. So.
So Narcy
monsters, no.
advised you to set watches. Did you do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
I mean, we're paying our guide, so we got to listen to what she says.
Would you like to? Something happens around midnight. Who is on watch then, or do you want me to determine it randomly?
Just determine it randomly.
Yeah.
Because you,
We can make arguments for any possible time, and it will take us forever to do all those
Oh
arguments. So-
man. Okay. So it's Rogar and Ruan on watch.
Ooh.
What are you guys
Can
watching?
you feel-
Arranged for that to happen.
Yeah, he turned back into his elf form from being an eagle when camp was set, and he seems a bit more relieved to be sitting on the ground. It says, "So, how are you?"
I'm okay. How are you?
I am also doing well. I am just, you seem a little anxious, and so I was just. Do you want to tell me anything? I could turn into a wolf again if it would help.
Oh, oh gosh. No, that's all right. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm a little nervous, of course, about returning. I haven't been in a temple of Sharinlar in a while, and I haven't been around my people in a while. I miss them. I miss them terribly. But just nervous. Well, if they've heard of me and the Bogglewomp heresy, as it were, and how I'm going to be received. Hi. Well, how are you? Let's talk about you. So
What
yesterday,
about me, Rogar?
I was quite surprised. Like, there was a different side of you yesterday.
Oh, he pales a little bit. He says, that's a little embarrassing. I didn't mean to show you that side of me.
Well, you can show me any. No. He blushes. No, these just come out of my mouth wrong sometimes. Sorry.
He looks a little wan and he says, arguing with Cecilia is like arguing with our mother.
Oh.
We're so lucky I'm asleep right now.
She's so strong of will.
Oh, Cecilia is that in spades. Although I think,
Less likely to just
sometimes.
immediately curse you if you cross her, though.
I don't know about that.
I said less likely. You don't know our mother.
Oh, less likely. Aye, than your mother. Aye. Well, yeah, you're right. I don't know your mother. Do you want to tell me about her?
He looks up at the stars, which are starting to peek out from among the clouds. The rain stopped toward evening and it's been kind of clearing up as night falls. And now it's almost midnight. And he's looking up at the moon, which is not quite full. It's waxing, so it's becoming full.
It won't be a werewolf. Sorry.
And he says, she's fantastic. So wise and powerful and mercurial and cruel, but cruel in the sense of a winter storm.
Well, that part didn't sound great, but the first bits.
Maybe I'm using the metaphors wrong. I'm not.
Well,
this tongue is still foreign to me.
And what is
the
about
beauty of a forest fire? The splendor of a collapsing mountain.
No. Maybe you can tell me what you find glorious about those and beautiful. Help me understand.
The power of revelation, destruction. That is what my mother is.
Oh. Is that
she is a tornado, a hurricane, a lightning bolt that strikes the same place 3 times in a row.
Is that what you are? Is that something you want to be?
What? Me? No, I couldn't possibly. Like, she would never approve. But just like she's like Cecilia unbound. If Cecilia didn't have any limits.
This conversation will make Cecilia so angry.
But she's also like Artemisia. She's noble in a way. Like capricious and untrustworthy, but fair, if that makes sense.
Okay. I have to be honest. Some of that makes me a little uneasy, but I trust in your judgment.
Well, I've never introduced her to one of my friends before, except for Sarshan that one time, but she cursed him, so.
Right. So, wow. And that didn't worry you at all, or?
Not really. I mean, he did try to attack her.
And why would he do that?
Well, he was upset at something she had done.
And what had she done?
She had left a small child in the care of someone who was not worthy of her.
And this is not obviously. Was this Cecilia or Artemisia?
Yes. I think he was upset about both of those, but primarily it was Cecilia at the time. I'm trying to remember. It was a long time ago. Yes, I think it was Cecilia.
And how did you
No,
feel
I'm not
about
sure
that?
why. I'm not sure why Mother abandoned her.
Well,
Urshan disapproved.
I'm getting uncomfortable about the whole. This is not
And then I attacked him because Mother was attacking him. Right. I mean, it's
Right.
obvious. This is what you do when people who raise you tell you to do something. Right.
right.
Oh my
So this
God,
is
Rogar,
worrying
counsel him.
Rogar a little bit, but also like also this feels like also well this feels like something he really probably that maybe Cecilia could help that he and she need to work out.
Oh, no, I couldn't possibly tell this to Cecilia. She'd be so furious.
And well, that's sometimes people are angry for a reason, but and so
Yeah,
anger is
this
not
would be a
always
good reason to be angry.
I but also I mean internally Rogar is like this is just bringing up all kinds of things about the Holy Mother and the way she raised him, and so he's starting to get really uncomfortable because it's starting to go into self-reflection territory, and he doesn't want to do that right now. So he'll say, well, bring this back to yesterday, which is what started this whole conversation. Oh boy. So just to kind of build on what I was saying earlier about forgiveness and stuff, I just I think what I observed, just I would say I agree. Cecilia is a very strong person, and you clearly have very potentially conflicting views on some things, and so I would say if you want to avoid the all those kind of conflicts in the future, sometimes compromise is best, and just sort of maybe allowing them their anger and their view and not fighting over it. Right. So
Is that what you do? Seek compromise.
I seek what is best for the relationship, I say.
Would not what's best for the relationship be you returning to the embrace of Sharinlar and doing what the Holy Mother tells you to do?
But my relationship with whom?
Oh, I assumed you were talking about your relationship with her.
The Holy Mother.
Yes. If you want to do what's best for your relationship with Sharinlar, surely it's the opposite of that. Which relationship matters more to you?
It doesn't make sense, though. She's the representative of Sharinlar. That's what is so hard for me to work through. I must be missing something or doing something wrong here. So I don't know. I mean, just I guess what I was trying to say more that sometimes an argument is not about winning, but about making the other person feel heard, and then you want to come out on the other side of it with the relationship better, not the having won something in the relationship, not the argument. Put it that way.
I see. Is that what we're doing on the road?
Sure.
Are you seeking?
He's trying so hard to like turn this back onto ruin, and like,
I didn't finish the story though.
Oh, right. What story is that?
The story about my leave taking with Mother.
Oh, yes. Why did you leave her? Was it because of she was so destructive and doing these?
Oh no, all those things I admire about her. I saw that Sarshan was right, and I couldn't stand to be with her any longer. What she had done was cruel, and she's not. It was beyond what I wanted, if that makes sense. She was no longer the woman I respected.
So you on the one hand you admire these aspects of her, but you felt that it was wrong.
She went too far.
I see. Why do you?
Which I told her, and then she cursed me.
Oh. She seems to like to curse. That's her sort of default, I guess. Is she doesn't like what you're saying, so she curses you.
Swears like a sailor as well. Anyway, I
don't take this wrong, but I hope I never meet her.
Well, it's probably for the best. Please don't tell this to Cecilia.
Of course not. This is between just no. Again, I appreciate so much all that you listen to and let me unburden on you as when you were in wolf form, and I appreciate you sort of keeping that between all of that between us now that you can communicate.
Right.
So
right. He seems like he's going to say something more. When you hear the sound of hoofbeats in the distance, as in a number of riders coming toward you.
And that startles me to the fact that suddenly I'm aware of the fact that I've been holding his hand this entire time while we were talking at some point. And like, that makes me like aware of that fact. And I'm like,
and he had closed his other hand over your hand when he was asking you not to tell Cecilia.
Oh, yeah. So he blushes and then he's like, oh, what's that?
I can see what's happening.
You see a number of riders coming toward you, in fact, on the road. You're camped somewhat removed from the road. And these riders come riding up.
And I said, awake! Riders!
All right. So you all awaken to Brogar shouting about riders approaching.
Do I hear hoofbeats?
You do. Yes, there are indeed riders.
We're on a road. Of course, there's riders.
You see about
riders.
A dozen, maybe upwards of a score of riders. Lights appear only when they come close to you. You realize that they had been riding toward you in the dark. And then the lights appear, illumining their armor and their purple tabards and purple robes, like cloaks. And they say, halt! In the name of the dragon.
Okay, we're halted.
As they circle around you, pointing spears in your direction.
Do we know who this is?
You guys. Narcy!
More of us awake?
Yeah, all of you are awake. Narcy staggers out of her tent. She says, whoa. Evening, lads, evening.
What's the deal here?
And they say, you are trespassing upon the territory of the kingdom of Cormyr.
Okay, there wasn't a sign or anything.
I need your travel papers. And Narcy says, hold on, I have them. Just hold on. She grabs her satchel from inside her tent.
We're gonna have to fight purple dragons. Oh, God.
Well, Artemisia is gonna be going through her bag and being like, "Oh, the travel papers, the kind that are metal and clink, right?" And so she's gonna get some money.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
nice.
what I'm
Nice.
asking for.
Narcy says, well, maybe. It depends if they have that rapscallion with them. And then you hear a man call out, is that you, Narcy? And she just kind of, she looks back. So among the knights on their stallions, right, this smaller figure, a dwarf on a pony, comes cantering through. And he's got this close trimmed beard, except it has one really long tail in the middle with a number of rings and gems embroidered into it.
Whoa.
and he's wearing a gray black robe under his weather cloak. And he says, "Ah, Lady Felsicle, what a surprise to see you here so late on the road. Taking up the trade again, are we?" And she says, "Oh, yes. Hello, Rost. It's good to see you as well." The knights look around, and they're just gonna keep kind of casual vigilance, but they put their spears up while the dwarf ambles his pony over toward you.
I hold up
He surveys
Mirabelle
each of you.
to look at the pony and say, "Hey, look at that adorable little horse. Isn't
She goes,
it cute?"
"Little horse, little horse." Rost, the dwarf, looks at each of you in turn, and then his eye settles upon Rogar. "Ah, one of our mountain kin, is it?"
Gold dwarf Riftkin.
Riftkin, right, of course.
Yeah, I can speak as a mountain dwarf if you prefer.
And a priest, is it? What is that? He's looking at your symbol or tabard or whatever you have.
Oh, I'm a priest. I'm a cleric of Sharindlar, of course, the goddess of life. Giver of life.
Sharindlar.
Aye.
It's been a while since I've encountered one of our folk who worships that goddess.
Well,
Lucky
if you would
you.
like her blessing, I'm happy to pray with you.
He says, "That's all right," and he reaches up to his the gorget around his neck and pulls out this necklace with a number of coins strung through it, and you realize that he is a priest of Abbathor.
Ah, bastard. Ball bag. He's the worst. I'm not saying that out loud, but inside, I'm just, oh, God,
I feel
he's
like
the
we-
worst.
May have all heard this right.
So,
Does that seem
I-
accurate?
Yeah, you
Abbathor.
heard them speaking about this, and you've heard
I meant
talk
Rogar.
about Abbathor in the
That
past.
Rogar, maybe occasionally you're
Abbathor, God, the Dwarven God agreed. Like, if there is any bad god in the Dwarven pantheon, it's freaking Abbathor.
well.
He's just, he's.
But he was not kicked out of the Dwarven pantheon. He's just kind of
No.
the black sheep of the pantheon.
He's all about greed, greed, greed. Gimme.
Yeah.
He
Narcissus
listens to your
like-
sermons mostly.
Nurse is like, "Honey, you don't say. I think some of that coin is probably a good idea."
Yeah, I mean,
What
it
are the
sounds
purple
like you're on the
dragons
right path
doing
here.
so far out? Are they mounting some kind of expedition beyond Tezir?
Are you
I know it's a
suggesting we are-
protectorate.
We are not in Cormier?
Last I checked, this was still free Dragon Reach land.
Interesting.
Well, I'll ask him in Mountain. So what is a priest of Abbathor doing so far from the mountain home? What?
I happen to be a servant of the Abbathor in Tezir. That is where I hail from. I am simply doing my job. And my job is to check the traveling papers of anyone on the road and collect fees for those who don't have the correct papers. Is this a adventuring band?
Nope, definitely not.
No, we are on
Belatedly, Sarshan comes rushing up into camp, holding a sword. He's like, "Where are they? Lady Cecilia, direct
Sit
me."
down. We're pilgrims.
we are on a
Roast
personal
purple
mission to
sprout.
the outpost to the Gold Dwarf
And-
outpost.
And I have your travel papers here. So she's going to make not the lowest bid, but sort of middling bid as far as what she thinks the bride might be.
Says, "A gentlewoman of some distinction then."
Mm,
He ambles his pony over to you.
I know how
And-
business is done.
He takes what
Definitely
you
not an
offer from
adventurer.
him. And he says, "Shh, shh, shh. Yes, these feel a bit light for proper traveling papers."
It's Abbathor. God damn it.
Ston's
This
gonna lean
doesn't his
over. Ston's gonna lean over to Rogar, and he's gonna say, "Is this dwarf a dingle dangle? Are we gonna have to Take care of him.
Mirabelle goes, dingle dangle.
Well, he's a dingle dingle, but if we can give him enough gold and such, he may go. But Abbathor has a bottomless pit of greed in it, so I don't know if we have enough.
Well, Artemisia's gonna try. She has minimal funds in her bag, but
Kayla still has all the jewels that her dad gave her.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
You want to give those up?
Well, just toss a couple in there.
yeah,
Well,
not all of them.
let's just go one at a time.
Yeah,
Huh.
Now
and
we're
don't let
talking.
them see that you got a bunch. Be like,
Yeah.
oh, it's at the bottom of my pocket, nothing else in here but lint. There you go.
Sturge, you're just standing there being observant. And you have noticed that Ruan is looking up at this dwarf, and he looks over at Rogar, and he's like getting angrier. Like his features are contorting a little, becoming more vulpine. Like, stop hassling my boyfriend, I'm going to beat you up.
Wow, what an
They're
insight
just
check.
going to,
Yeah,
just
well,
kind of-
Sturge has a pretty high insight.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
he's going to kind of cover his mouth and cast the message cantrip, whisper into Ruan's ear. It may not look like it, but Rogar has this under control. Relax and watch him do his thing.
All right, I'm going to need you to make a persuasion check, Mr. I have a thing with people. Away with people.
Away with people.
That's-
A thing with people. Ooh, 19.
Ooh.
19. All right, you
Nice.
convince Ruan to stand down. Sarshan is still standing there like, what's going on? Who do I chop up? You look like a likely person to chop up. And the knights hold up their spears, and one of them raises his hands and starts, there's like lightning arcing between his fingers. And,
Ooh, I want to look
Person goes,
intimidating.
aha, maybe not.
I'd like to look intimidating behind them while they hand over those golden jewels. Maribel and I are both gonna try to look as fierce as possible.
Make an intimidation check.
21. let
Mirabelle
it
gives
work.
you advantage on your intimidation check. You want to roll again.
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, that's pretty high the first time, but,
She goes,
we try
oh.
again. 17 for the second, so 21
Okay.
stands.
Okay. Yeah, the knights, they look a little like this is kind of gross business that just has to happen, whatever. But the cleric of Abbathor seems content with the amount of coin and jewels that you're giving him. And he says, well, see that you get those papers adjusted, Narcy. And the dwarf says, thanks, Rost, I will. Huh. See you around, little life cleric. Come visit us in Tazir if you're ever looking for a gig that actually pays.
There is no greater payment than the life and joy of those around.
he
That was
he
lame.
reins the pony back, and they ride off.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
The knights also leave. You hear a couple of muttered like, "Oh yeah, be safe on the road," as they head off on their way.
Are we in agreement if they come back that we're just going to go to like attack because that
Yeah.
was garbage?
Narcy says, "Yeah, you, feel free if you want to. Those darn occupiers should not be this far away from. It's a big shame because Tazir became a protectorate state of Cormyr decades ago, and they've just been pushing out further ever since. Maybe the road isn't the safer route after all."
There we go.
I'm also going to lean over to Rogar and be like, I'm just saying, cast a sickening radiance on that temple of Jerkface. We can probably clear it out, and you can make it a temple of Sharindlar. I bet it would not cost a lot to take that out. Just saying. The god curses a temple. People tend to leave it alone.
Also, I don't think we can afford any more traveling papers. Narcy, just so you know, that was
Narcy
pretty
says,
near
"Oh."
what I got.
She pulls out one of her axes. It's murder then, huh?
Murder oboes, go.
The axe back. And Badger goes with his little paws because he has little fingers. He goes like that. Okay, so the next day passes on the road. You have moved from the main road, cutting down south. Narcy says, if I know Rost, he's just going to come back with a different band of knights the next day, as long as he thinks there's coin in it. Let's try and avoid him, shall we?
Yeah. So I think what
So.
Stong can offer is, so Stong's like pretty good at nature and survival from his time like in the wilderness before meeting up with the Irregulars. So perhaps he could turn into a horse, maybe with Ruan or something, and then we would create a different set of tracks leading a different direction, and then we could just turn into eagles and come back to the main group.
Okay. I'm going to need you to make a survival check, please.
Okay.
And you can also make a check for Ruin, and he will help you. So roll 2 d20s, and
One is a 25,
okay, that's
and
pretty
the other
high.
one is a 21. Stong is a bard whose one of his expertise is survival.
Excellent. So he's a ranger bard, is what you're saying.
He's a survivor.
He's a master. He's a master of no trades, but dabbler in most, except for the ones that depend on charisma. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so you leave a false trail, which makes it look like you that you went further along the road before cutting off. So whether that was successful or not, you don't see any more knights for the rest of that day. You're traveling across kind of rough terrain. The wagon's bouncing a lot more. When Ruin got back to the wagon, he did not get in that carriage because he has enough motion
Ooh.
sickness as it is. He is instead sitting up on top of the carriage where he can talk to Narcy. But that means Sarshan is in the carriage with you this time.
I feel like if the carriage is bouncing that much, how many of us want to sit in the wagon and versus
Yeah.
walking?
That's true.
Yeah, I don't think Stong is in that carriage.
I feel like
He
that-
does also have a number of horses that you could ride.
Sturge brought a mule. He's going to ride his mule.
Excellent.
Artemisia wants to talk to Stong at some point, but I don't know if that has to happen like at night at the campfire. Stong is like flying around and being a horse all the time most of the day. But
Being a flying horse.
Did he turn into a Pegasus?
I mean, I don't think so. It's creatures, beasts only. But
Aw.
you could talk to me while I'm a horse, or I don't know, whatever.
Talk like Mr. Ed.
Mm.
Well, I mean, she might. If he's just like walking along, like, or flying along, she's gonna come up and be like, so I wanted to apologize for getting so angry the other day. I'm working on that. I know you probably saw me getting angry at Cecilia, and it wasn't the right thing to do then either. So I wish you wouldn't do that with Forever X's skin, but I'm sorry. And she's gonna like walk off.
Nay. Raises like a hoof. And then he realizes he's a horse, and so he turns it off, and he goes, "Oh wait, Artemisia.
Okay.
I'm really sorry. I didn't think that. I thought you saw this dragon skin while we were over in the other dimension, and I thought you were mad at me because I did such a poor job making an outfit. I'm no
Well,
seamstress like you."
Well, I don't do my own sewing. I do some designing, but you didn't have anything else. I understood why you would use it at the time, and I thought it was going to become armor or something, because Reverax, she was she was a fighter, and so it seems more respectful to have like armor that from a fighter. And but I guess that's not really. I talked to her, and it's very strange, you know. And she wasn't gonna tell me anything about my ancestors anyway. But having talked to her and then, you know, seeing her get killed, and it is upsetting, but so that's why I apologized. It's not necessarily anything that you did.
Well, I'm not sure if this skin counts as remains, but if you did want to speak to her spirit, perhaps we could get somebody to animate a spirit from it. I believe that magic exists. So maybe she could talk to you and tell you more about what she said. I couldn't really understand her words because I didn't speak Draconic, but she had some connection to you or revelation.
Well, I mean, that's why I have scales, because a very long time ago I have a dragon ancestor.
Whoa, double whoa. Sorry, I'm not very observant. I try not to like stare at.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't really stare at people's like, you know, there's things on their skin.
When I stopped hiding them, I guess I sort of assumed. Well, Cecilia and Kalith was there. They know. I sort of assumed that people would draw conclusions, but
I don't ask, don't, you know, if you want to tell me about it, fine, but you know, I wasn't going to assume anything.
Mirabelle reaches out toward Artemisia's scales, like,
is this okay?
Yeah.
Can she touch them?
Yeah.
Can I touch them too?
On them.
Can I touch them too?
She puts her hand on the scales on your arm, and her touch feels warm and gentle and kind of reassuring.
Oh, thank you, Mirabelle.
Conversation.
So,
is this conversation? Are you guys off away from people or wandering near the rest of the group?
No, I mean, unless Stong would be like way off, Artemisia would just in the middle of the group somewhere.
Okay,
right outside the cabin or the
listening then.
The cart.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I mean, my father, his family has, you know, family stories, and you don't believe them, but except, you know, this sort of got to believe that. And Reverax, there's no point talking to her spirit because I guess I smelled like the wrong kind of dragon. So she didn't want to have anything to do with me. So yeah, it feels a little weird, like, you know, maybe my great grandparent, and then like seeing you wearing the skin, it's weird.
Okay. So I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to remember, I'm trying to learn about my friend. You are half elf.
Yes.
Half Lithari.
That's the kind of elf, yes.
Oh, so you are part Lithari, part dragon, part
human.
And is that all?
I'm
trying to, you know, I'm just trying to wrap my brain around this. Like, okay.
You and me both.
It's like, surprise, you're also part dwarf.
Wow. Wow. The things we learned about our ancestry, I guess. Are we going to have to rebrand our arena team? Are you going to be the bronze dragon wolf dragon?
Well,
weird dragon?
I guess I wasn't thinking about it at the time. Well, I mean, I don't think I can turn into a wolf. I mean, the dragon probably like interferes with that. I mean, I assume.
Cool. Interesting.
So, but it's like bronze for the dragon and then wolf for my mother's heritage, I guess.
Have you ever tried to transform into a dragon? Could you like just focus real hard right now and just do it?
I will try to turn into a dragon.
She's
Yeah,
gonna turn into a
canonically-
dragon, everyone.
We have canonically established that Stong can grow facial hair just by focusing on it. So it's a
Okay.
totally reasonable question to ask.
I mean, hey, she's gonna focus on dragonness and see what happens. Sure, it's a long journey. She's just walking. So
Make a charisma check.
okay.
Maybe Stong gives her advantage because he's being so encouraging.
Not great. That's a 12.
Okay, you think really hard about being a dragon. It's hard to keep out thoughts of how ridiculous this is,
Yes.
and nothing happens.
Well, maybe sometime in the future. Well, you've convinced me. He's gonna take the red dragon skin off of him, and he's going to hand it to her, and he says, I think you understand this, and you have more consideration for this than I do. So you should take it and do whatever you want with it.
Oh, thank you. Well,
You
I'll
shove
give
it
it.
all into her little noodle arms.
Mhm.
I'll give it back once I've had something different
It's
made
up to
from
you. Up to you. I'm gonna go make some clothes out of grass now. I don't know. I didn't really think. I didn't think this
Probably
through. I
like
didn't think this through.
blankets in the wagon
Oh,
from like bedrolls and stuff, right?
yeah, you're the fashionista. Okay, so he goes to animate some blankets and turn those into matching onesies.
Sarshan taps Cecilia on the shoulder. How come he gets to be naked all the time?
Oh, okay. All the time is not what the phrase you're looking for here. I think he is less naked less often than you.
Fair.
And look, he's getting he's telling the blankets to turn into clothes.
Oh, is that what he's doing?
I think that's what he's doing.
Yeah, so Stong like
Or
animates
he's like wrestling
the
with them.
blankets using animate object, and then he commands them to turn into onesies for him and Mirabelle.
So I'm picturing Stong going like this.
I know,
Yeah,
I'm getting a very
like little
Sorcerer's
Disney.
Apprentice vibe. Like,
Blankets are dancing,
Yeah.
and the like backpacks are dancing, and like the excavation equipment is dancing.
Yeah, fold on my body.
Sarshan says, "Well, if I could get dressed like that."
oh man, he's very generous with the spells, is my impression. So he probably asked if he can teach it to you.
Oh, well, maybe I could ask him to dress me.
Yes.
He would probably do that. He's a nice guy.
He immediately reaches up for his cloak, and he's like, "Later."
I am impressed by your restraint right now.
Thank you. I'm glad. It's all because of you, said Celia.
Okay, now you're making me uncomfortable.
All and only because of you. If you were not here, I would not be restrained.
Definitely making me uncomfortable. For Raven Horse. is best.
Shit. Okay, so toward the evening of the third day, the trek has passed largely uneventfully since the knights waylaid you. You come within view of a small town. It is near to the road. If you had followed the road, you would have come here as well, but you're kind of approaching from the east instead. And Narcy points out that that is the town of Radiance here.
We gonna stay in
It's
the town?
just, yeah, it's just at the meeting of the roads. And I thought it might be nice to have a bed under your backside
Real
and
bed.
maybe a warm meal.
Appreciate
What
it.
about bathing?
Yeah, that can
Yes.
be arranged. They know me at the Giants Folly. I'll take you there.
Awesome.
Oh, I should point out we're getting into the lands of everything is named after the giants here. Giants Folly, Giants Run Mountains, Giant horses, giant stables. You'll see what I mean.
Still seem like things you named after. It sounds like you were talking about a different kind of horse.
People here really like giants.
Okay.
or they really fear giants. It's unclear. Both.
Sometimes those things blur together.
Sarshan suggests both. And Narcissus is like,
About dwarves.
yeah. So
That sounds good.
we will pick up with your stay in the town of Renseer at our next game.
Okay.
Is there anything that you would like to have happen before we sign off for the evening?
Well, Rogar is definitely. Oh well, we're not gonna be on guard, so I don't have to worry about.
They just come up and be like, "Oh, no guard duty tonight."
Maybe you should go on guard duty.
Hmm.
No, so Rogar is definitely going to like go and find a quiet place to pray very hard because he's feeling things he knows he shouldn't be feeling.
Okay. So I guess this would have happened like the morning before you get toward the town. Okay. So this is rewound a little bit. And Narcy says we should be coming to Renseer this evening. So we can stay there tonight. And then Cecilia was like, no guard duty, huh? And Rogar was like, I gotta go pray. So you're praying in kind of an isolated area behind some rocks in the terrain.
Hi.
And you hear footsteps approaching.
Oh, okay. I put a hand on my hammer just in case it's, trouble. And
you continue praying, or do you look around?
I'll look around.
Okay.
Look the direction of the footsteps.
Sure enough, it is Ruin. So he's got a little walking stick. He doesn't have any weapon or anything, just a stick.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Oh, shit! I should have turned into a wolf so I didn't bother you. My apologies. Go back to praying."
Okay. Thank you.
I'm just watching over you. That's all.
Boon from Charlindlar.
What?
The boon from Charlindlar. Wasn't this what you were praying for?
Give me a sign. Handsome elf boy shows up randomly. Hi, I was just watching over you. Don't worry, I won't bother you. I could turn into a wolf, FYI.
Do you see that? Like, I'll start to see I think I see something like dark shadows out of the corner of my eyes.
Ruin looks around. I don't see anything. What are you seeing?
I don't know. I'm worried the Bogglewumps might have followed us.
All right, he comes over closer to you and he says, "All right, let me see." And he speaks these fluid elven syllables of some sort of magic spell. But you've never actually seen him cast a spell before. And this kind of
very good doing it.
Emerald radiance, yeah. His hair kind of flows a little bit in wind that isn't there. And then there's this emerald radiance that washes over you. And he says, "You don't seem to be poisoned or under some kind of a effect."
How does the emerald radiance feel?
Warm and comforting.
Oh. And
He lifts up his stick and he says, "All right, show yourselves." And as he's casting around his stick, it grows brambles and vines around it and becomes like this wicked club. That's the Shalala spell. And he's just,
now raise my hammer and looking around.
"You stay away from Rogar. You hear? He is not yours to torment. Whoever you are, whatever you are.
And
I'm going to bash you up. Come here."
I have two thoughts. One is that as the green warmth all washes over me, I'm like, oh, so this is what it's like. Is when I cast Sharinlar's grace over other people. Like, that must be what it's like. Like, oh,
Yeah.
someone's doing this to me. That's kind of nice.
The healing magic of Sharinlar's embrace is like a warm sun on your face.
Okay.
And the spell that he casts on you feels like a warm sun filtered through leaves in a canopy.
Nice.
But then, like, I see Boggle shadow in my eye. Like, maybe you should go. Maybe you should go. If they're here, maybe they'll show themselves if it's just me.
Maybe I should stay. And he touches you on the shoulder and he says, maybe you should look at me and not at them. I'm the one here with you. And as long as I'm here, they're not coming, right? I can't see them.
Start to tear up a little bit. I definitely think you should go. I think you should go. No, go. I did not. I'm trying to pray over here, and you just come over here without even being asked, and like you're all looking after me. Like, aren't you supposed to be going and looking after your sister or something? Like, I don't need you here, okay?
She's made it perfectly clear that she doesn't need me to look after her.
Well, then go look after Sarshan or something. He obviously.
Sarshan doesn't need me to look after him either.
Well, I don't want you here.
I only know one person who needs me to look after him, and that's you. And maybe Artemisia. She makes questionable choices.
Where is the lie?
Ruin leans in and hugs Rogar.
Oh my God.
And then he leans back away and he says, just take the time that you need. It's okay. But I'm not going anywhere. Except right now, because you did ask me to leave. So I am going to walk away right now. But I'm not going anywhere beyond that. Okay?
Give me Sharon. Let her forgive me, Sharon. Okay. Okay. I'll just close my eyes and I'm just praying.
Okay, he walks away. He does glance back. You could feel him glance back at you. But he does walk away. He does respect your wishes.
Do you watch him walk away?
So Celia taught him to do that.
I maybe peek, yeah, but then,
yes.
Does Sharindlar answer his prayer?
Oh.
Sharindlar is silent on this matter.
He's giving you alone time.
And that's all the time we have for tonight. So tune in next week for their visit to Redensere for further drama in the ongoing Bogawump heresy. And see what happens to that red dragon skin that Yang Yang has taken off.
Well, looks like I'm not wearing the onesie anymore. It might be Artemisia now, huh?
Your turn.
I handed it off.
And finally, the regulars will arrive at the Dwarven Monastery in the south of the Giants Run Mountains. I swear, I promise that will happen. All right. And then we will see whether they arrive soon enough and whether the magic works. Don't go away. Tune in next week. I have been Eric Scott DeBee, the DM of the Westgate Irregulars campaign. Take it away, Aaron.
I'm Aaron M. Evans. Remember to check out our sponsors, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. Check them out at idlechampions.com.
I'm Rhiannon Held. Thank you to Yang Yang for running our tech and to our moderators tonight, Seldrine and Shay.
I'm Yang Yang Wang, and check out the charities that we're supporting. We've got 4 of them. They are in the links below if you are watching us on Twitch right now. And if you're on YouTube, they should be in our About page.
I'm Emily Tang. Thank you for everyone who donated or gave us it. Yes? Okay.
I'm Stephen Merlino. You can also find our past videos on our YouTube channel, linked on our Twitch page below. You be sure, please, to click subscribe to support us, and the bell. Click the bell.
Yeah, click the bell.
Get a bell to get notified as we add new content.
The dingle dangle.
Man,
You're supposed to
So,
support the
Steven,
bell.
so
What
Steven,
attribute role?
go to YouTube,
Yeah.
check it out, and then you'll know what you're talking. You'll
YouTube,
know what it is.
that's a site.
Just
That's a website.
YouTube.
yes,
yeah.
the website. Yes.
That's what the kids are using these
Do you
days.
think that was like a real life charisma check, or what kind of check do you think that
Now that
was?
TikTok's been banned, YouTube's going to be the new hotness, I hear.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm,
New
I've
hotness,
heard of
same as the
YouTube.
old hotness. Yeah.
All right. Thank you most of all to you, all of our viewers. Obviously, we wouldn't have a show without you. Make it all worth our while. And the adventure continues over on our website, www.dungeonscrawlers.com. You can find our PC profiles, NPC profiles. We put up ones for Nala and Charity and Lady Kiko just yesterday, so you can check those out. And yeah,
Or
and so
apparently the Westgate Angels. Like, wasn't that the thing?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought that was real. That was real funny.
let's get Angels. And then yeah, and awesome recaps from our own moderator, Shay Darksong. So
Thanks,
check
Shay.
those out. Yay, Shay.
Thanks,
So
Shay.
yeah, thank you, and stay scrawly.